Hello everyone, I'm Angela Lee Duckworth. When I left a high-paying job in consulting to become a teacher, I noticed something that changed the way I think about success. It wasn't just intelligence that separated high-achieving students from others. It wasn't just talent or even access to resources. It was mindset, and the same is true when we look at the difference between people who stay stuck in poverty and those who rise above it. It's not always about how much money you have, it's how you think about money, growth, and opportunity. Today, I want to talk about what truly separates a rich mindset from a poor one, and why this difference can change the entire trajectory of your life. The biggest difference between people who achieve financial independence and those who don't isn't luck. It's not always education, inheritance, or even hard work. It's how they think about growth and risk. People with a rich mindset look at growth as a lifelong investment. They understand that building wealth, real, sustainable wealth, isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about learning constantly, taking calculated risks, and stretching beyond comfort zones. Poor mindsets, on the other hand, often fear risk and stay trapped in a cycle of playing it safe. And while safety may feel good in the moment, it often leads to stagnation in the long run. Rich mindsets believe in expanding their value. They ask questions like, how can I learn a new skill? How can I become more useful to others? How can I solve bigger problems? They invest their time in books, mentorships, networking, and trial and error experiences. Even when they fail, they don't see failure as a loss. They see it as tuition. They know that the price of growth is discomfort, but they're willing to pay it. Poor mindsets, by contrast, often view education as a cost rather than an investment. They avoid challenges because they fear looking foolish. They overvalue security and undervalue possibility. This difference shows up in small decisions. Someone with a rich mindset might use their weekend to learn a new skill, start a side business, or meet people who inspire them. Someone with a poor mindset might use that same time to escape, to avoid, or to stay within a familiar routine that never changes. Over time, these choices compound. One builds momentum, the other builds regret. It's important to understand that this isn't about how much money someone currently has, it's about how they think. Rich mindsets can be found in people with little money who dream big, learn fiercely, and take bold steps. Poor mindsets can be found in people with money who fear losing it, hoard resources, and refuse to grow. It's the orientation toward possibility, toward abundance, that makes the real difference. People with rich mindsets look at risk not as something to avoid, but as something to manage and understand. They study it. They prepare for it. They accept that risk is the price of opportunity. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They move forward with imperfect plans. Poor mindsets wait. They wait for permission, for the perfect time, for the guarantee. And often, by the time they feel ready, the opportunity has already passed. If you want to build a rich life, not just in money, but in meaning and impact, you have to shift the way you think about growth. You have to stop fearing risk and start understanding it, because growth never happens by accident. It happens by intention. One of the most defining differences between a rich mindset and a poor mindset is how each views time and reward. People with a rich mindset are focused on the long game. They understand that true value, whether it's in money, relationships, skills, or purpose, takes time to build. They think in terms of years, even decades, not just days or weeks. They're willing to delay gratification because they know that long-term investments yield the greatest returns. On the other hand, people with a poor mindset often focus on instant gratification. They chase quick wins, fast money, and immediate comfort, even if it means sacrificing future stability and opportunity. You can see this mindset difference play out in countless ways. Someone with a rich mindset might choose to invest in a course that won't pay off immediately, but will build skills for a higher paying job in the future. They might save money now to build a business or acquire assets that appreciate over time. They choose consistency over excitement and strategy over impulse. Poor mindsets often avoid these investments because they don't see the immediate payoff. They might spend money on things that give a quick sense of success, like designer clothes, flashy gadgets, or a lifestyle they can't afford, just to feel validated now, even if it puts them in debt later. Rich mindsets understand the compound effect. They know that effort, money, habits, and decisions all accumulate. A small sacrifice today can lead to a much bigger reward tomorrow. They ask themselves, how will this decision impact my future? And make choices accordingly. Poor mindsets, by contrast, often prioritize emotional comfort and immediate pleasure. They're more likely to say, I deserve this now, even when it compromises their long-term goals. They avoid the discomfort of waiting, the patience required to build, and the discipline it takes to follow through. This applies beyond money. In relationships, a rich mindset invests time into deepening trust and communication, while a poor mindset might look for excitement or approval in the moment, even if it damages long-term stability. In careers, the rich mindset builds skills and takes on challenges that may not pay off right away, while the poor mindset stays in the comfort zone, afraid of short-term struggle. The ability to delay gratification is one of the most powerful predictors of long-term success. It's the mindset that says, I'll skip this party to study because my degree matters more. I'll reinvest this profit instead of spending it because I'm building something bigger. I'll work on my health today so I can enjoy life fully tomorrow. It's the discipline to trade what feels good now for what feels right later. Ultimately, long-term value thinking isn't about being perfect or never enjoying life. It's about making sure your daily choices serve your future vision. Rich mindsets are builders, poor mindsets are consumers. One creates value that lasts, the other spends value that disappears.